An 81-year-old war veteran was quietly eating breakfast in a roadside diner when a young man suddenly slapped him across the face. What happened next didn't just shock the diner, it changed lives forever. Before the story continues, if you love real emotional stories, brotherhood, and justice, subscribe to our channel Bikershype, like this video, and share it with your friends who still believe respect matters. 81-year-old veteran gets slapped in a diner. What happened next shocked everyone. The diner sat at the edge of Highway 47, a forgotten stretch of road where truckers stopped for black coffee and eggs, and locals came to escape loneliness for an hour. The sign outside flickered. Mabel's Diner, hot food, warm hearts, though time had worn the warmth thin. Inside, the smell of grease, toast, and old memories filled the air. At booth number 6, by the window where the sunlight always came in just right around 8:30 a.m., sat Walter Hayes, 81 years old. Thin hands, a straight back that refused to bend despite the years, a faded green jacket with a small military patch sewn carefully on the chest. Walter always sat in the same booth. Same order, same routine. 2 eggs over easy, dry toast, black coffee. He folded his napkin neatly, always neatly. The waitress Linda had been serving him for over 10 years. She never asked for his order anymore. "You're early today, Mr. Hayes," she said gently as she set the plate down. Walter smiled, soft and polite. "Couldn't sleep," he replied. "Same as most nights." Linda knew what that meant. Nightmares, memories, things no man should have to carry alone. She poured his coffee, gave his shoulder a gentle pat, and moved on. Walter looked out the window as he ate, watching cars pass, watching people rush through life like it was a race. He wasn't in a hurry. He'd already lived through hell, a past written in blood and silence. Walter Hayes was a Vietnam War veteran, drafted at 19, sent overseas at 20, came back at 20, older than his years, quieter than before. He had medals, he had scars, he had memories that woke him at night, but he never talked about them. His wife had passed 10 years ago. His son lived in another state and called when he could. The diner had become Walter's morning ritual, his one constant, and on that particular morning, he had no idea his quiet routine was about to be shattered. The diner door swings open, the bell above the door jingled violently. Laughter spilled in before the people did. 5 young men walked into the diner like they owned it. Loud voices, careless steps, the kind of confidence born from never being told no. Leather jackets, expensive sneakers, loud attitudes. One of them, tall and broad-shouldered with slicked back hair, scanned the diner with a mocking smile. His name was Derek, and Derek had a problem with respect. They slid into the booth behind Walter. Chairs scraped loudly. One of them kicked the side of Walter's seat by accident, or maybe on purpose. Walter didn't turn around. Years of discipline had taught him one thing: ignore provocation. But Derek noticed the jacket, the patch, the age, the quiet. "Hey," Derek said loudly, leaning back. "Check out Grandpa over here." The group laughed. Walter continued eating. "Probably thinks he's important," Derek added, "wearing that old army jacket like it means something." Linda glanced over, concern in her eyes. "Guys," she said, trying to keep her voice calm, "please keep it respectful in here." Derek smirked. "We're just talking." Walter set his fork down slowly. He didn't turn around yet. Words turned into something worse. Derek leaned forward, his voice dripping with mockery. "So what was it, old man? You fight in some fake war? Or you just like pretending you're a hero?" Silence fell over the diner. Every fork paused mid-air. Walter slowly turned his head. His eyes weren't angry, they were tired. "I fought," he said quietly, "so you wouldn't have to." That should have been the end of it, but Derek laughed. "Man, shut up." And then, without warning, Derek stood up, walked around the booth, and slapped Walter across the face. The sound echoed through the diner like a gunshot. Linda screamed. A coffee cup shattered on the floor. Walter's head turned slightly from the impact, but he didn't fall. He didn't yell. He didn't swing back. He simply sat there, silent. The room froze. The moment that broke hearts, Walter reached up slowly and adjusted his glasses. A red mark burned across his cheek. His hands trembled, not from fear, but from restraint. He looked up at Derek. "I buried boys younger than you," he said, "and I carried them home in pieces." Derek scoffed. "Whatever, old man." He turned back to his table, laughing with his friends. No one moved. No one knew what to do, except one man, The door opens again, the bell jingled. This time, the sound was heavier. Boots hit the floor. Leather creaked. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. 1, 2, 3, 6 motorcycles were parked outside, and 5 men walked in, massive, bearded, silent. Hell's Angels MC patches were stitched proudly on their vests. The diner went dead quiet. Linda's hand shook as she held the coffee pot. The bikers scanned the room, and then they saw Walter. They saw the red mark on his face. They saw the jacket, the patch, and one of them froze. Recognition. The biggest biker stepped forward. His name was Reaper. Gray in his beard, scars on his knuckles, eyes that had seen violence and loyalty in equal measure. He walked slowly to Walter's booth and stopped. "Hayes?" he asked quietly. Walter looked up. His eyes widened. "Tommy." Reaper removed his helmet. 25 years ago, Tommy Reaper had been a scared 19-year-old recruit under Sergeant Walter Hayes. Walter had pulled him out of gunfire, dragged him through mud, saved his life. Reaper swallowed hard. Then he saw the mark on Walter's face, and something dark entered his eyes. He turned slowly. "Who touched him?" No one answered. Reaper turned again, his voice louder. "I said who touched him?" Derek laughed nervously. "Relax, biker." It was just Reaper crossed the room in 3 steps. He didn't hit Derek. He didn't need to. He leaned in close and whispered something only Derek could hear. Derek's face drained of color. "Brotherhood doesn't forget." Reaper turned to his men. "Boys," he said quietly, "this man taught me what honor meant." The bikers removed their helmets one by one and placed them on the table, a sign of respect. Every man in the diner stood. One biker spoke. "This man is family." Derek backed up. "Hey, look, I didn't know." Reaper raised a hand. "No," he said calmly. "You knew he was old. You knew he was alone. You just didn't think it would matter." Reaper nodded toward the door. "Apologize." Derek hesitated. The bikers stepped closer. Derek's voice cracked. I'm sorry." Walter looked at him. "Mean it," Walter said. Derek swallowed. "I'm sorry, sir." Walter nodded once. "That's all. Justice without violence." Reaper turned to Linda. "Put his breakfast on us," he said, "and everyone else's." The bikers sat down around Walter. They listened. They laughed softly. They let an old soldier talk. Outside, Derek and his friends left quietly, shame heavier than fear. A new morning. Walter never ate alone again. Every morning after that, motorcycles lined the diner parking lot. The waitress smiled more. The patch on Walter's jacket seemed brighter. Respect had returned to Mabel's diner, and everyone there learned something important. You never know who someone is, or who stands behind them. If this story moved you even a little, subscribe to Bikershype, like this video, share it with your friends, and if you love the Hells Angels, share this video now and help us complete our 1,000 subscribers target. Now prove your love. Comment below and tell us respect or regret.